One of the things that worries me a lot at the moment is the amount of stress that managers are under, and it seems that they've got a certain size plate that their work's supposed to fit on, and more and more things get put on that plate without working out what to take off. And it's funny because we wouldn't take on a project without the budget, financial budget for it, but we will take on a project or an additional task without looking at how much time that's going to cost. So I'm very interested in the concept of time budgeting. And I think we need to, we talk a lot about time management. And yep, the time management's good, but you can't manage the impossible. So if in actual fact you've got more work to do in your hours of allocated hours than is humanly possible, then no amount of time management's going to actually fix that. So we've got to learn to time budget so that when we take on a task, we think about not only the financial cost of that project or whatever, but what's the time it's going to take. And if we decide that it's a great project or a great thing to be doing, then that's great. Then let's look at, so where is this person or this team going to get that time? What are they actually going to stop doing in order to fit this new thing in? And that's not what's happening. People are just simply going, yes, oh yes, we should do this. This is a great project. Oh yeah, absolutely. They take it on and they just buckle. And we've got managers working ridiculous hours, we've got managers getting stressed. And another thing that worries me is then when they are stressed, they're often labelled as not coping. And so it becomes an individualised problem to what is an individualised focus to what is actually a systemic problem. The problem is not the person needing to manage their stress better. The problem is they've actually got more on their plate than is humanly possible. And one of the ways that we try to help people to do this time budgeting is to help them look at all their key work areas. There might be 5 to 7 of those areas that you would say would be key areas of your work. And then you look at all the tasks that you do under this. You have to allocate some time to do this, of course. And then you look at those tasks and you go, oh, how much time do they take? Or should they take if I was able to do them? And then you add all that up and you compare it to what hours you're actually employed to do. And when we do that with managers, sometimes the result is really distressing. They're paid a 40-hour week and they're working 60 or 70 hours. It's really common that managers are doing this. And they feel that on top of that, they feel they're not coping. I'm not coping with my job, I'm stressed, I don't know what's the matter with me. So it becomes their problem rather than the organisation's problem, and that worries me. So if we can get more clever at time budgeting, so we know what our tasks and for each key work area actually take us, then it becomes easier when a new project or a new piece of work comes along to be able to decide, if we're going to do that, how much time should be budgeted for it? Or, well, it might take 6 hours a week, extra time. Great. Where are we going to get those 6 hours? So you can look at your key work areas, you can look at the time budgeting for those tasks, and you can say, well, for the life of this project, what will we stop doing? And then it's also a very logical way to look at it. And so managers don't have to think, oh, I just can't do that job, it's too much, I can't do it. And be told, as quite often we tell people, well, you've just got to manage your time better. Well, sometimes it's actually not about managing your time better. It's about budgeting your time better.